Hi, this is Shari Palmatier with Coach Shari, New Habits, New Life. And this is the social media week in review for the week of December 3rd, 2018. Lots being posted this week around the holidays and holiday parties and eating out. So we're going to review the Tuesday tip, ditch the diet. Yep, I mean ditch the diet. After that, the Wednesday blog, which is all about eating out. And then on to the LinkedIn tip to help you with holiday parties and preparing for them. If you like this content, I really hope that you will follow me on Instagram, like me on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and go onto my website, www.coachshari.com, and subscribe to my weekly blog. The other sites you find me at Coach Shari. Simple. So the Tuesday tip, pretty passionate about this, and the title is Ditch the Diet. Seriously, Coach Shari, did you say ditch the diet? I sure did. In fact, to me, diet is just another four-letter word. Why? Because diets have a beginning and an end. They begin because you need to lose weight, whether it's for an occasion or for whatever reason. You reach your goal, and then you start going back to your old habits, and you end up gaining weight such that you weigh more than when you started the diet. So if you ditch the diet and you create new healthy eating habits, you'll never diet again. Live a healthy life eating whole foods, very few processed foods, and no fast food. Drink half of your body weight in ounces of water. Exercise 5 days a week, and watch how happy your body becomes. And what will happen? All of the clothes in your closet will fit, and they'll only be one size. You won't have to carry multiple sizes, the thin size, the medium, and the heavy size. Just have one size in your closet. And this way you always feel good. You're always ready for the next occasion. There's no panic that you were invited to a dinner party and nothing fits you or you don't feel good about yourself. Does that sound good? Well, then start today. And if you need help, I hope that you'll contact Coach Shari for nutrition consultation, nutrition coaching program, and or a weight management program. Coach Shari, New Habits, New Life. On to the Wednesday blog, 3 tips for dining out. This is the time of year when many temptations have the opportunity to take over our best self-control. How many of you just give up until January 1st? You always have options, and maybe this year you can gain less weight than last by being more prepared when you're dining out. Try one or all of these tips. Whatever you can use can be added to your list of new habits. Remember, this is a lifestyle change, not a short-term tip. At least from Coach Shari, you'll always get lifestyle suggestions. Number 1, preparation. Critically important. Whenever you can choose the restaurant, try to be prepared and at least look at the menu ahead of time. I happen to like steakhouses. If I'm meeting with another couple, for example, and they're choosing the restaurant, if I say a steakhouse, I know I'm always safe. I can have steak. Steakhouses usually have fresh fish options, and also they tend to have lots of vegetable options, which can be prepared any way that I like, so any way that you like. If you're unsure if the restaurant will accommodate your requests, and I would say most will, call ahead of time and have a conversation. Let me give you a short story. There's a local restaurant in town where I live, and I always liked their version of what they called eggplant parm. It's an appetizer, and they actually cut the eggplant in half. They put tomato sauce and they melt cheese over it. And it's great because there's no breadings, no process to it. Well, what happened was I had to give up dairy, and I thought, oh, let's go to this restaurant because I know I can get this. I'll get it without the cheese and it'll be a nice treat. So we go to the restaurant, give the server my order. She comes back and says, I'm sorry, the chef won't make it. What do you mean? The chef won't make it without the cheese? Why not? Well, he won't do it because it changes the dish. Really? Just leaving out the cheese he won't do? All right, out of here. So this is an unusual story, but I'm telling you that you're empowered to make good restaurant choices. You work hard for your money, and if a restaurant is not going to make a simple accommodation, then use your 2 feet and walk out. That said, we need to be reasonable when we're asking for an accommodation. You can't expect a French restaurant to accommodate all of the time if they're only about sauces and breaded foods. They're not going to change their whole way. But simple changes or plain grill changes, 9.9 times out of 10, I've not had a problem in a restaurant. So tip number 1 is prepare ahead of time. Tip number 2 is eat before. If you tend to wait too many hours before you eat and you arrive at the restaurant famished, what are you going to do? You're going to go through the first basket of bread, the second basket of bread, and then by the time the salad comes, you're going to be full. So what you can do is, if you're on the road, bring a snack, a healthy snack with you to eat on your way to the restaurant. For example, a fruit or small portion of healthy nuts would be a good example. Or if you're home, maybe have a small salad before you go so you don't feel famished. Same principle that we've used when grocery shopping. You don't want to ever be in a grocery store when you're hungry. Why? You statistically will buy more things because you're more tempted. And likely if you're super hungry, you're going to be buying some snack and eating it in the car on your way home. None of this serves you. So before you arrive at the restaurant, consider not being famished, but just being ready to eat when the meal arrives. Tip number 3 is the menu is a guideline. I always say that. My friends and family know it. Thankfully, I'm married to the man who's my polar opposite. He always places the order as it's on the menu, and I always look at the menu for ingredients that I can use to make it in my way. And so this is typical for me. I look at the menu, and I don't have sauces, so you're kidding yourself if any sauce doesn't have some amount of something that isn't healthy, like sugar or some kind of flour, additive, thickener. That's a sauce. Sometimes a marinara sauce won't have sugar, but you need to ask the question. So I typically order without a sauce. Whether I'm ordering a steak or a nice piece of fish, I want to know, I eat grass-fed beef, I eat wild fish, and I get it plain broiled, or maybe if they have to put fat on, just a little bit of olive oil. I have them save the pepper because I have a pepper allergy, but you can ask for food to be prepared as you wish. Many restaurants will steam your vegetables for you without putting butter on it. But what I'm saying is being shy simply gets you a ticket to the fat farm. It doesn't get you what you want, and you should order what you want to live your healthy life. And if you ask up front and have a conversation with the server, worst case scenario is they go back in the kitchen, they ask how something is prepared. I'll give you my example this past weekend. My husband and I were in New Hampshire, and on the way home, we stopped for breakfast. My husband chose IHOP. Okay, it was the most convenient, wouldn't be my choice. And I promise you, I'm the only one who's ever asked what the eggs are cooked in, because the server had no idea, but she was very good. She went back to the kitchen. Well, what do they cook their eggs in? Some substitute butter or something. Ding, ding, ding. That is chemical. And I don't eat chemical. So I asked if it's possible. They have olive oil. Oh, they didn't have olive oil. So now why would you eat an IHOP? Well, I know I eat it in IHOP. Anyway, she was very, very good. Again, she went back and asked the chef, could they make it with no fat, which is what they did for me. So I made the best of his situation. That could have been super uncomfortable. Had a great server. I promise you, we took really good care of her. Remember to do that when the servers really go out of your way for you. So I just want to review the Wednesday blog, 3 tips for dining out. Be prepared. Choose your restaurant wisely to fit in with your healthy eating habits. Number 2, eat before if you need to. If you tend to go into the restaurant super full, it's not going to work for you because likely you're eating lots of bread. Number 3, use the menu as a guideline for good ingredients that you could put together for your healthy meal. And moving on to the LinkedIn post for the week, which is all about holiday parties. I've been to many of these. And the title I created was Holiday Parties, Bloat or Gloat. And the reason why the gloat is because I came from a sales environment, and certainly holiday party would be a great opportunity for those who had a great year to gloat. Now, I'm not suggesting you do either, but you kind of see my point, right? You essentially can either choose to eat whatever is there or spend your time enjoying visiting with your colleagues and celebrating your year. So, of course, I believe the goal should be to enjoy being with people, because typically, well, not typically, but very often in an office party, you're getting to mingle with people that you don't either have time during the day to, or people who have come in from remote locations to celebrate with you that you, again, don't get to spend time with. So really consider using this time to speak with others, your colleagues, versus nibbling on foods, which can lead to amnesia eating. So here are some options for enjoying your holiday parties in a more healthy way. And there are 3 of them. Number 1, ask about the menu in advance. Now, most companies have become very sensitive to food allergies, sensitivities, religious eating, and they may ask in advance if anybody has any food preferences. So if you can find out who's running the meeting, you can certainly ask them what's being served and decide what you do from there. Sometimes they will be happy to offer you a special meal if you tell them what it is that you want. I certainly have never had a problem getting special food. Number 2, eat ahead of time. If you're too shy, not comfortable, it's a new job, you don't want to have that conversation with anyone, then if you don't want to be led to temptation, eat ahead of time so that you go there with your priority to mingle. Now, it's easier to do this in a buffet scenario versus a sit-down meal, but I have found that holiday parties are typically in buffet style or just hors d'oeuvres. So eat ahead of time so you're not thinking about food, mingle, enjoy yourself, make it a social occasion. Now, tip number 3, if a party is in a restaurant, you can usually, even if you don't feel comfortable to ask your party planner in advance about the menu, you can usually make a special request, again, given the ingredients they're serving. So for example, if your dinner is, let's say, a chicken franchise, you can ask the restaurant if they could give you a plain grilled piece of chicken with some plain vegetables. Again, most of the time, happy to accommodate. If they're serving chicken, you're not going to ask for lobster because that would not be a fair request. But keeping within the ingredients being served, typically you can get something different. Same thing in a catering hall. Now, they may not be able to create a different meal for you, but they always have a vegetable plate option. I have done this many, many times over the year, just feeling that I'm safer just to have a vegetable plate than to eat the prime rib if it's a sit-down dinner, for example. So here are, again, 3 tips to help you get through the holiday party season without overeating, let's just say. Number 1, ask about the menu in advance and make a simple request. Number 2, eat ahead of time if you don't feel comfortable doing that. Number 3, at the party, you can make a special request. And I usually like to give the server a nice little tip. They'll take it. It's holiday season. They'll appreciate it. They're doing something special for you. I hope you gained some value from this content and these tips. Again, these are a tip for a new lifestyle. Consider it, even if you're not ready today, you may be a month from now to start making your new healthy habits. And if you would like the assistance and partnership with a coach, consider Coach Sherry. My game plan is helping people to make new habits in their time frame. So it is all about you, what you're ready for, and we at Coach Sherry are here to help you. Thanks for joining in, and please feel free to go to www.coachsherry for more information. Have a great day.